We have the timing of the Life and Death Developer Livestream. 2 creator kits were announced, and as a reminder, that update is Tuesday. Hello, my name is Jennifer, and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. So I'm going to cover all of that update on Tuesday with some hints from the TDESC from Xerbu. We had 2 creator kits announced and the Life and Death Developer Livestream timing, which is later this week. So as a reminder, we got this tweet from the Sims Direct on Friday, whereby it said, on Tuesday, October 22nd, a big base game update is coming to The Sims 4. And here they're reminding if you use game mods and custom content, you may want to remove and back up save files. And also it'll give creators time to update their content to prevent potential in-game issues. So this is earlier than we usually get game updates before a pack release. Normally, if it's a Thursday pack release, the update is the Tuesday before, which would have been October 29th. So it's a whole week earlier. So there's a lot of thought that this is like, they are saying it's a big base game update, but a lot of people are thinking it's like the biggest base game update ever. Maybe, but also they did say that they are working on resolving reported issues tied to the Reaper's Reward event, and it's a time-limited event, and they're trying to get those fixes out. So maybe they wanted to just have one update which had the Reaper's Reward event fixes, as well as the base game update to prepare for Life and Death, as opposed to being the biggest update ever. I don't know. I'm going to go on it's the biggest update ever, and things are going to break, but maybe it's not that. We can hope that maybe it's not that. It's just a usual big base game update as opposed to pre-expansion pack base game update, as opposed to really, really big, which a lot of people are likening it to. And maybe it is, but also the last few updates, they have broken things and they've had to try and get emergency patches out in between the update and, hopefully the pack release. And this will give them more time, if that happens, to get those actual updates out before the pack releases next week. So those are 2 things that would support them doing it earlier than usual, that it's like the biggest game update ever. We don't know. If you're curious what time updates usually are, and it is 10 a.m. Pacific, and since it's Tuesday, you can see that on the screen. I don't know if they're going to have it go a little earlier so that it's out before the Reaper Reward event starts, because it starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, I'm guessing, because I know it starts at 12 noon for me, and I'm in Eastern, and the update normally would be 1 p.m. Eastern for me. So I don't know if they're going to rush the update so it proceeds when the week goes live, or if it doesn't really matter because, it's not a big deal. It'll still be there for people to do afterwards. I'm not sure. But the usual time is 10 a.m. Pacific. So, assuming they're going to do it at the usual time, that's when it would be in a few different time zones. And I'll be linking down below so you can find out when that guesstimated time is in your own time zone. We'll know soon when it actually is. Now, they also did share the TDESC file in the Sims Discord for mod creators, and as a result of that, there's a series of tweets from Xerbu, where this is the first one. Well, this is interesting. Now I can snoop for information about the patch before it's even out, and that's what they proceeded to do. Some of the things they found seem like they're for the pack itself and not for the game update, like this particular one here on the screen. This is from the 19th. I actually didn't see most of this until now. I was looking for one particular one I had seen by them, and I found some other ones, so you're getting all of it. There's a shady merchant NPC tied to wills. It seems to be related to a generated pre-made will, so either it's for a pre-made sim or will appear if your sim doesn't already have a will. And they will take a certain percentage of the active household's fund, and they don't know what the percentage is since they only have access to the TDESCs and not the actual tuning. So again, this would be for the pack. And then a will has 9 sections, which you can see there: burial, charity, dependent, emotion, emotion and note, funeral, heirloom, note, and simoleon. Again, doesn't really mean much other than what they're saying there. And bucket lists are internally referred to as unfinished business, even for living Sims. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of information about them in the TDESCs. There are no new types of traits. So the new molecule in CAS must be related to something that already exists. That was per the trailer where they had that question mark on the top left-hand side, and that was for children and up that had that, even though in this case they're showing, a young adult or older, but I did see it for children and up. And then they said that's all they could find that we don't already know. Not a lot has changed with existing code, so the patch shouldn't break too many tuning mods. So that makes it seem like it isn't actually that really big of an update, but that also is tuning mods, and they do tend to break less than script mods. So I still expect mods will break, but maybe tuning mods will be spared and there won't be as many of those that break. So the big mods, MCCC, UI cheats, anything like that are script and they would have that at the end, those I would expect are very likely to break, but maybe not so much the other types, the package ones. But then this was later, and this is the one that I was looking for. And I don't know, again, if this is something that's for the pack or for the base game update, or if it is even at all, it's just something there. It might be something coming in the future. But Xerbu said it might finally be possible to change occult types in CAS. There's a new code related to an occult button that wasn't there before. This might be a button to change occult types. And then they said, wait, there's more. There's also an occult selector. That's very likely to be for choosing which occult you want a sim to be. So right now you can't change your sim's occult or from non-occult in Create a Sim. When you create new sims, you have to choose the, occult selector at the very bottom before you even create them. And then you choose what category you want them to be, and from there, you create your occult. What this thought is that you can create your sim and go, oh, I wanted to make them such and such occult, or I don't want them to be an occult, and that you could change it in Create a Sim. Obviously, this would be something when you're creating a sim or moving a sim into a new save. Otherwise, you would need the CAS full edit mode cheat if that's what this is. But the other thing is, I am kind of wondering, with ghosts getting fleshed out and their own skill tree with the pack, if when you have an occult die and they become a ghost, if they are no longer going to have access to their skill tree for their occult, it gets supplanted by the ghost. I'm just guessing here. I'd rather them have hybrids so that you can still be your occult. And that when they go back, they're reborn, they get to, at that point, pick the occult, which could be what they were previously or any other type of occult. And that's why this is possibly maybe being added. And maybe it's something specific to the pack, but then if it's going to be something that can be used for the pack, then maybe it can just be put in base game so anyone can use it if they have the packs that have the occults, because of course base game only has ghosts and plant sims, which aren't really a full-fledged occult. All the rest you need packs to be able to get those occults. But anyways, it's interesting. I don't really know. We'll find out tomorrow if that's I'm saying tomorrow because at the time I'm recording this it is tomorrow, but by the time this goes out it'll be later today. What, if anything, this means. And then the other fun thing is that it may be possible to choose the color of ghost similar to what you can do with lighting based on this code that is shared here. So that was it for what I saw from Xerbu from when they looked through those TDESCs. And the main thing I had seen was an occult picker, and I was going to look for that, and I saw the other thing, so I thought I would share everything. So moving on, The Sims tweeted and shared on various social media, get an exclusive look at our first set of Sims 4 creator kits by Maishino Shun and Triliake. I'm guessing on the pronunciation there. Learn more about our partnership that brings a full collection of in-game assets crafted by talented creators and published by the Sims development team. And then it links to a blog post, which I'll cover briefly. So the names of the kits are Sweet Slumber Party by Triliake, and then Cozy Kitsch. Not so good with that word, by Maishino Shun. So one is a creative sim and the other is a build by kit. They then followed up to essentially say that they first introduced the creator kits in the future of The Sims alongside other news, which they linked to that, and I have done a separate video on that previously. And then their blog post is very long and very detailed, so I'm going to just cover at a very high level, and if you want more details, I recommend you go check it out because there's a lot of information there. So one of the things they did was discuss the difference between a creator kit and then the regular kit where they collaborate with creators. They also include an interview with the two creators about the process, and also they mentioned that they plan on sharing more information on the two creator kits before their release, which is going to be on November 14th. So the main difference seemed to be that with creator kits, the creators pitch their idea and then they will actually do the actual kits based on templates provided by EA. So the templates are based on performance guidelines, not artistic guidelines. And they'll also go over like sort of the number of things that should be in a kit and whatnot. And they have certain documentation requirements that need to be done too. So the kit titles, descriptions, and screenshots are also done by the creators, and they are polished off by the Sims team. If it's a build buy kit, the creators do the in-game write-ups for the build buy items, and EA is then responsible for translating it to the 18 languages supported by The Sims 4, and EA will run tests on the items. So essentially with the creator kits, the creators do the work using performance guidelines that EA sets, and EA will test it. So really they are doing the kits, but there is, involvement by EA. It seemed like quite extensive. Whereas with the regular kits, EA does the work, but the creator has the ideas and the concepts that are then used in those kits. And in both cases, they are compensated. They also went on and talked a little bit about how they chose the creators. This first stage was a pilot. They said there were a lot of talented creators, so it was difficult to choose. However, they have been working with a pool of custom content creators who are known in the Sims community for their high quality creations, responsiveness to community reported issues, and who are in good standing with the official current mods and game updates policy. So those are things that they would consider. So they then also said that all creators have been fairly financially compensated according to competitive market standards at every stage for their time, input, and expertise. And that was part of what they want to do. They also said that these creator kits have no impact on current free CC and mods. They will continue to exist. This is simply a way to get some curated CC into the game that all players can use. They are looking for feedback from the community on these kits, and they have more creator kits coming in 2025. So that will be it for this year with the creator kits. Now on to the Life and Death Developer Livestream. Xerbu Nova tweeted, "Ooh, look what I found," and it links to the premiere of the developer livestream on YouTube. If you look there, it will show you when it will be live in your own time zone. For me, that is 2 p.m. on Thursday, October 24th, which is 11 a.m. Pacific for, the Sim Gurus, and that is the usual time for developer live streams. You can even turn notifications for the live stream on YouTube, and then you'll get a pop-up to remind you that it's going live, usually shortly before and at the time it goes live. I expect that extra early access content by selected creators will go live sometime after the live stream, but I'm basing that on what's happened in the past. I've not seen any announcements about that. And of course, usually in the live stream, they will show the create a sim, the build buy, and the gameplay, though sometimes they don't show everything. Usually they don't show everything because they have a limited time. So now we're going back to where we began. The pre-Life and Death update will be Tuesday, October 22nd, and if it occurs at the usual time, that will be at 10 a.m. Pacific. This will be a big update, and as I said previously, I'm not sure if it's the biggest update or even the biggest update since Infants, which is what I've seen some people suggesting. But given even the Sims Direct has recommended to back up saves and move mods folder out, as I also show on my how to prepare list shown here, and that I've covered in more detail in an earlier video, which I'll link below, I second both suggestions. In addition to the other steps noted here on this list, I would also suggest that if you play in the EA app and want to temporarily avoid the update, make sure you have automatic game updates disabled, and when you do want to play, go offline with the EA app at that point. I have a detailed tutorial on how to do that and how to prepare for a game update, which will be linked at the end. So what are your thoughts on what was shared here? Are you interested in either of the creator kits? Do you plan on watching the developer live stream on Thursday? And are you excited or nervous for the update? I'd love to know in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!